everybody, it's Romania Black, and we are on volume 9 of my read-through of Attack on Titan. We are starting officially season 2 content, the Beast Titan. I honestly really enjoyed season 2. It's hard to pick a favorite season, honestly. I think that seasons 3 and 4 have the most important content because that's really when the story gets to its crux. But season 1, as we've just seen through the last 8 volumes, those 8 volumes set up so much foundation for the story thematically and plot-wise and character-wise. And as we've talked about with these last 8 volumes, there's so much that will come back full circle in the later volumes for season 4 content that you're like, what the heck? Like, did Isayama, somebody asked in the comments, like, do you think Isayama planned it all out or made it up as they went? I fully believe that Isayama had a skeletal, a founding Titan framework, if you will, of what they wanted to do with the story. And I think a lot of the things Isayama wanted to do later on in season 4, they lay the foundation for in this first 8 volumes. However, I do think there's a lot that Isayama changed as they went, and I'm sure that skeletal framework was there, but there was probably things that were altered as the story went on. Like Sasha, for example. We know from watching the anime, Sasha was originally supposed to die in these next couple volumes and be done. And Isayama kept her around to be a plot point later. So it's like, those type of things make me know that Isayama has altered the story as it's gone, but a lot of the core things, either he set it up from the beginning and decided to bring it back later, or they were always meant to be brought back later. And either way, it works, right? But I'm so excited. Season 2, I remember starting it, and when we had the Beast Titan introduced, being absolutely terrified and was like, what is this nonsense? Where is this season going? And then I had a lot of fun with season 2. I loved the mystery. When we get to Warrior, one of my favorite episodes. There's a lot of good stuff going on in season 2. I think season 2 is really underrated because a lot of times people focus on season 3 because of Hero and Midnight Sun and the basement and like halfway. The first half of season 3 is fine. I would say if I had to pick a least favorite season, I'd say it's part 1 of season 3. I like that a lot. Like the whole Levi thing with Kenny when we get on all that. I love that. But it's probably to me the weakest out of it all because, and that's saying something because all of Attack on Titan is good. There is not a bad episode of Attack on Titan at all. Every episode is solid. But if I had to pick an arc that I was like not in love with as much as the rest, I'd probably say season 3 part 1. That one's probably my least favorite. And then it gets hard from there. But I feel like season 2 is underrated because I think that season 3 part 2 and all of season 4 overshadows it so much. And then people remember the nostalgia of season 1 and the framework that I feel like season 2 gets swept under the rug. And I love season 2 a lot. So I'm excited to watch the manga and read the manga version of it and go back to the roots and kind of talk about what I love about it, right? And now that I know what I know, it'll be fun to go back and look at it again through another set of eyes. It's basically I'm Aaron going back into my memories. We're doing memories of the future and doing that, right? So I could be like a gender bent Aaron, right? Only I'm not a murder child. So I do have a few comments I want to go through before we start. Christopher Peterson, we're not to Flock yet. I'm excited when we get to Flock, but we are not to Flock yet. Flock and Armin having similar ideas about Erwin and being the necessary evil. And I like that Christopher Peterson pointed this out on Patreon, that Armin and Flock's ideas of Erwin are kind of similar towards the beginning, that he's, the ends justify the means, and he's kind of this necessary evil. The thing that becomes interesting is that later on, the means become different for Flock and Armin. Like, what is the value of the means justifying the end? For Armin, there comes a breaking point of that. And for Flock, he kind of leans all in and is like, no, let's just become devils because that's what it takes. And Armin takes a little bit of a different, more nuanced approach to that. But I'm excited when we get to Flock and knowing what we know about him going from the beginning with his character. It'll be a lot of fun. Alex Johnson pointed out this really cool observation. We were talking about if Erwin would, be on board with the rumbling. And my opinion is no. I don't think Erwin would be on board with Eren. I've seen a lot of people being like, if only Erwin had been spared, he would have gone along. And it makes for a great IU. It makes for a great AU, the whole thing with Erwin being in Marley, or Erwin being like, the colossal titan and going along with Eren. And it makes for a very entertaining and fun AU. I will give you that. And if you do like the whole Marley AU where Erwin was originally like one of the warriors, you have like the enemies to lovers thing with Levi, you could have a lot of fun with that. I won't argue with you there. But I liked Alex Johnson pointed out that the OG Survey Corps, like the original point of the Survey Corps, beyond defending the walls, the original Survey Corps, their entire task, the entire heart of their organization was going beyond the walls to discover new life. And Erwin was very much a part of that OG squad mentality that, the Survey Corps, our mission is not just to defend against Titans, it's to go out and discover new things and say, hey, is there life out there? Probably should get to know them, might do us some good. And I feel like Eren forgets that and sees that as a bad thing and is like, oh, no, we just need to protect ourselves from the outside world. He forgets the second part of the mission. And I don't think Erwin would be on board when he's fought this long to discover what's out there to be like, oh, well, let's just destroy it. So I liked Alex's comment about that. I definitely agree with that mentality. I don't judge anybody that disagrees, but that's just my personal beliefs. Viper Leone Navarra pointed out that Eren, this interesting dichotomy that Eren, he associates the easy way out with putting trust in others, that trusting others is the easy way out. And I'm like, oh, that is insane, right? It's almost, I liked Viper Leone said that Eren almost treats teamwork and relying on others as being sinful. And I was like, ooh. And when we get to sin in this manga set, that's going to tie back to that, the idea of relying on others. And I'm like, ha. So I like that you're touching base on that, Viper Leone. But yeah, it's so weird that Eren considers, relying on other people to be like the easy way. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? So, but we've spent several volumes talking about that so far. And then Alexander Q said some people have noted online, which when you have a fandom this big with Attack on Titan, a fandom this massive, there's going to be a lot of trains of thoughts that we're going to disagree with, and that's fine. I don't ask anybody to agree with what I'm saying. My only thing is don't tell me I'm wrong. Like, you can respectfully disagree, but don't be like, you're wrong. And I'm like, it's fiction. Like, we can think whatever we want. Until Isayama tells us otherwise, we're fine. But apparently some people think that the Levi squad's deaths were unnecessary. And I'm like, that's the foundation of everything Eren thinks in terms of teamwork and relying on others. Like that, their deaths lay the foundation of Eren separating from the group in season 4, going off on his own, not wanting to get his friends involved because he's afraid they're going to die like the Levi squad. Like their deaths are a key piece of the Eren Yeager puzzle. And without those deaths, then Eren probably would not have gone down the path that he did. So it's like they're absolutely integral to the entire plot. And I feel like they're also integral, as Alexander Q noted, in bringing out some emotion in Levi. I hadn't thought about this in Volume 7, but Alexander Q is noting two things. One, that Levi possibly gets a little bit bitter at Mikasa when she rescues Eren, because he's like, oh, you got to save your friend. I couldn't save mine. And I was like, I never thought of it that way. But that could be Levi showing a little bitterness there, that he wasn't able to save the Levi squad and Mikasa was able to save her friend. I never thought of it that way, but I kind of see it, and that's fascinating. And then the other thing is that Levi, I want to say somebody mentioned this when we were watching the anime episode, but I had forgotten. But Levi cuts Annie the same way that he lost his squad. They all each cut like through her arms, to the joints, to the eyes. They're all mirroring how the Levi squad was taken out. And I feel like those two moments, like him being slightly bitter at Mikasa and him, cutting Annie the same way he lost his squad, Levi is not an outwardly emotional person. We see a lot of emotion within him brewing, but he doesn't showcase it outside very often. And I feel like these two moments were rare occasions where Levi let that outward emotion come out, right? We see it in Savagery, but I liked pointing that out, Alexander Q. That was really good. So, yeah. them's my comments, but we've almost spent 10 minutes. We need to just go ahead and dive into this volume. I'm really excited, y'all. I hope you all are too, but we are going to start volume 9 of Attack on Titan, the manga, and we are going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. You know what's weird about this cover? Is Eren and Mikasa next to the Beast Titan? Isn't that weird? I mean, there's the moon there, but Eren and Mikasa, they don't encounter the Beast Titan at all this season. I don't feel like they encounter the Beast Titan at all. Maybe in the manga it's different, but they don't really ever see the Beast Titan or Zeke until later. So it's very weird that they're on the cover here now, but I guess that's a clever way for Isayama to not give anything away of the story, being like, oh, here's this Beast Titan looming over Eren, gonna turn out to be his brother later, just gonna point it out here now. But yeah, I find that so interesting. And then, you know, the Beast Titan's looking down at Mikasa being like, oh, this is the girl that you kind of have a crush on, Eren. And Eren's like, I don't have a crush. I like it. Okay. The Beast Titan. I'm home. Southwestward. Ooh, episode 3. I loved that episode. And Udgaard Castle. Oh yeah, we're getting into it. So we're not gonna maybe not get into Ymir yet. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look at all these fancy things here. So we have Eren Yeager. He looks a lot like his older self there. That's interesting. All right, join the Survey Corps. Power turned into a Titan himself. Its origins are unknown. Gotcha. Mikasa's there. And Armin. Got the trio there. Cool. The female Titan, which is connected to Annie. And Reiner, Bertolt. I like John's in the corner there. It's such a weird thing. And then Pastor Nick. And then the Survey Corps, we have Levi and Erwin. We have Mike and Hanji. Nanaba and Thomas. Oh, man. It's going to be sucked to be them. Krista, Connie. Name unknown! Like the Ymir's just named unknown. Isayama's like, there's no mystery with this character. Don't worry, no mystery whatsoever, just name unknown. Have you noticed we've never said her name throughout the 8 volumes so far? That's kind of crazy that we've gone 8 volumes and not once has it come up about Ymir's name. That's interesting. That's such a good, you know what? That's so, in the anime, from the very get-go, I was like, oh, what's her name? And everybody was like, we can't tell you. And I was like, okay, so there's a mystery there. There's some importance there. Everybody was just like, the freckled girl. And I was like, and it was very obvious because when people would comment, they'd say the freckled girl. And that would just make me think, well, why don't we know her name? But honestly, reading the manga, I've never thought about it. Like, she's barely there to begin with in the last 8 volumes. And just there enough that you're like, oh, her. But you never question, like, what's her name? Yeah, so that's so fascinating that Isayama frames that so perfectly that you don't think about it. That's so well done. And then her right next to Sasha. Marco's still here. Damn it, Marco. We have Hannes, we have Dot Pixis, Niall, and Darius Zackley. Oh my god, love it. Okay, so Stohes District and Walshina. We have the Ermik District, Yarkel. Oh, we're getting some different names here. And then the interior of Walrose. So we're getting a whole... And we assume... The area where it is assumed the wall has been breached. And then, okay, and the facility where the 104th Corps was isolated. Okay, and it's near Trost. Imagine that. Imagine that. Okay, the Beast Titan. And Sasha's like, I heard footsteps. Okay, here we go. She's like, nobody believes me. Okay. And the Titans. Interesting. Get on horseback immediately and evacuate nearby houses and villages. And then Connie says, from the south. Oh. What's interesting is Reiner looking over to Bertolt being like, so they broke through the wall. And Bertolt being like, let's not talk about this. You know what? I'd have to go back and I want to say that I was suspicious of Reiner and Bertolt. I want to say I was suspicious of them, but I was afraid I wouldn't be right. And then when it was confirmed in Warrior, it was like the best feeling in the world. It was the most elated I've been like with a reaction in a long, long time. I don't think I've been as elated with a reveal like Warrior since then. It's been maybe there's been other Attack on Titan reveals that have been comparable, but that one was such an elation. And like, sorry, your lunch is on hold till you finish a mission. Like, the only way we're going to convince Sasha to do anything is if we threaten to take her food away. Love it. Get along. You won't be able to sit around like idiots anymore if you end up dead. Yeah, so that whole thing with Reiner being like, so they broke through. Like, what's happening? Okay. And then everybody goes. And Mike is like, as far as my nose can tell, there are 9 out there. There are 9! 9 Titans, you say. 9, huh, Isayama? That's the number you give us, huh? Isn't that funny? We should act as if another wall's been breached. Oh my god. There would have been a report. Like they're trying to assess, like, is this really a breach in the wall or is something else happening? The worst case scenario, we can't plug the hole without Eren. All that matters now is that Wall Rose has been breached. As far as we know. I like that visual of showing what it could look like. And you see like all the little Titans like running of all different shapes and sizes. Interesting. Yeah, like treating it like as such. I like this Nanaba and Mike moment. A lot of people said they shipped Nanaba and Mike, and I was like, I don't know where you're getting it from, but it all makes more sense now because they have more time together. We failed to discover the identities of the Colossus and the Armored Titan or to assess the enemy's combat strength. This day is a result. We've lost humanity. I was like, Nanaba, quit being such a Debbie Downer. But I like that they bring up the Colossus and Armored Titan to remind us as the audience to be like, oh, remember those other 2 Titans that might be important later? You should know who they are. And it's like, And then Mike's like, not yet. Humanity's first defeat will come when we stop fighting. Yeah. As long as we keep fighting, we haven't lost. And that kind of relates, to season 4 with Armin and them saying, like, we got to keep going and keep trying to reach Eren. If we give up, then we've lost. So that's a cool little frame and setup for that. What we've done to the 104th is inexcusable. We doubted them. And we've thrown them into this situation completely defenseless. And Mike's like, then we gotta fight. Like, let's not worry about that. Okay. Oh, Mike. I really like the way he's drawn in this and how he looks. It's like, he looks really good. So they explain the teams and how they're going to split up. There's a South team, the East team, the North team, and the West team. Okay. The team will need more people, and they'll branch off and go look at Wall Rose. Yep, we got that. All right. And so Sasha and Connie, they kind of know. He's like, my village is to the south where the Titans are coming from. He's like, I'll guide them to their villages, but after that, please let me go to my village. Ooh, that shot of Reiner and Bertolt. Be like, I have to go. Oh, that's so good because there's the question of, in the moment, Reiner and Bertolt look like they're worried about Connie, because he's letting this whole thing get to him. But also they're thinking, oh, is Connie going to go down there and find out too much that he should know? Aha! All right. And then Reiner's like, I'll go with you, He's like, didn't I tell you I'd help her out? What are you going to do, Bertolt? And God, that expression, Reiner's like, I'm not going to force you to come, but we need the numbers. And Bertolt's like got Kill Bill sirens going on his head. He's just like, Reiner, we're in soldier mode, aren't we? We're not in warrior mode. I feel like that image of Bertolt saying, of course I'm coming too, if you just put the internal scream, like just the watermark over it, like Bertolt is just internally screaming throughout this entire arc. Because he's like, what are we doing? This isn't part of the plan. He's like, why do I have to deal with this? And they're like, this is the worst day in human history. Oh my God. Which is funny because Reiner and Bertolt know what's beyond this. Oh my God, the action shots with the abnormal Titans are interesting. Why are they running and that they're fast? They're going to catch up. Oh, I love the action shots of Mike looking behind. That's so good. That's so good. Ooh. Get on the next page. All right, and then Mike takes the reins to go distract the Titans. To use as a decoy. And everybody's like, he's the second type of soldier after Levi. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. There's the one holding itself. Yeah. And he killed the one Titan, and the two of them are all collapsing. Oh, yeah. So it's the ones that are crouched up next to the building and the one with the big nose and eyes. Oh, Mike. Oh, that's so good. 4 left. All right. Oh, that abnormal Titan, something's off about it. Oh my God, that's so creepy! Yes! Oh my God, Zeke! Oh, shit. That's absolutely terrifying. I was like about to crap my pants seeing that in the anime the first time. It's big. It's like a beast. Okay. Oh, and they grabbed the horse! Damn it! No! No, not the horse! Isayama! Ooh. Oh, and then it looked at him. Oh my God! And then, what a preview of Zeke having the pitcher's arm. Him throwing the horse. Oh my God. Oh shit, yep. Oh! Damn it! Damn it, him throwing the horse, and that's the only reason he got caught. I forgot that. Damn. Oh. Oh my God. That's so freaky. Oh my God. Oh. I just told you to wait. Oh my God! Oh! Like showing its eyes pop out. Oh my God. Oh. Mickey's like, what the fudge? Oh. Yeah, if a giant beast like this was talking to me, I'd probably flip out too. I'd probably like be in the zone, freaking out. I like the ear scratching. Like that's a thing. Just you're not answering my question. It's such a villainous little thing, the ear scratch. Like, you didn't answer my question. Like, it's a little nervous tick. You're too terrified to talk. You must know we're in the neck. Oh, that's so good. I forgot if he said that in the anime. He's like, you know, we're in the neck. Like, he's like, you know that I'm one of those, like, Aaron. Oh, that's so good. Oh. We stop fighting. Oh. Oh, right. You can move now. This was such a gruesome death. I was like, Mike, he got up to keep fighting. He was gonna die anyway, but just like them just ripping him apart. Oh my God. Oh my God. You can talk. Oh, that's so awful. Oh my God. My word, they really do think of interesting things. Oh my God, Zeke. Ah! Shit. What? Could you imagine? Like, I know I was just like, okay, the Titans can talk. We kind of got that with Ilse's notebook, but the Titans can speak words. You know from the manga here that this is one of the Titans like Aaron, and Annie, so there's somebody inside. Oh my God. Ah! Oh my God. And so 8 hours after the Titans were spotted. So somebody came to go warn the people there. And then this guy. Okay. Get me the fastest horse. I need to let Commander Irwin know. And that's where Hannes and Pixis and all them are. The Titans are coming. Okay, so then we go back to Sasha. And Sasha being like, that's your last village. Okay, deep in the forest is my village. And she goes off by herself, yeah. And I'm assuming this is a flashback, yeah. Okay, and she's eating the meat and fighting the guy. Mr. Browse. Well, it's her dad. Mm-hmm. You ever think about what's happening in this world? Why the forest's been getting smaller and why it's harder to catch any game. It's because outsiders are coming to take our forest and our game. That's why I'm hungry. That's right, but the folks have had their home stolen from them too. They end up here because they don't have another choice. I always loved Mr. Browse. Mr. Browse is like the voice of reason in this entire series. Like he just is such a good voice and judge of character throughout all this, right? He says that's their problem. They should hurry up and get out. He's like, the Titans took their homes too. What else have they got to go? I love this whole thing of trying to make Sasha view the situation from their point of view. Being like, look, yeah, it sucks. It's putting a hurt on us, but think about them too. They're in the same boat as well. He's just like the perfect dad, right? Living in this world is a privilege. Yeah. He's like, if you only have so much space, folks that normally live different from the rest have got to join the group and live inside of it. We don't owe anything to the outsiders. We've got our own way of living, and no one's got any reason to stop us. That's so fascinating because that's interesting because on the one hand, you have an idea that Aaron would directly oppose, which is the way that our ancestors taught us is how we should live. Aaron's like, nope, that's been wrong. But then, like the Aaron from season 4, we don't owe anything to the outsiders. That's kind of the mentality Aaron has. He's like, we don't owe anything to them. We should just protect our own, right? And he says, well, that's fine too. Live your whole life in the forest by just the values of you and your kin. But would you throw your life away for that? It doesn't matter what dangers you'd face. You couldn't go begging for help. Those who won't do their duty don't get the benefits. Even if we lose our traditions, I want to live to see a future with my family. We've got to accept that this world's connected. You've got a bit of a cowardly streak. Leaving this forest and facing other people, is that really so tough? Man, we've got Children of the Forest vibes from the get-go. Because, yeah, that's what he's saying, from the beginning. And my dog is barking because I'm not petting her enough. But come over here and I'll pet you. There we go. But, yeah, from the get-go, he was trying to tell her the same speech he tells Gabby later on. The idea of, yeah, you just want to live by your principles and by your rules alone and protect just you and your close of kin. He's like, but if you do that, no one's going to help you face the dangers out there. You can't go asking for help from people that you aren't willing to help yourself. And not only that, but him saying you've got to leave the forest. If you stay in the forest, it's not going to do you any good. That giant theme that's been there from the beginning is something that he was trying to preach to Sasha even back then. Oh, man. Ah! And she's like, it's been 3 years since I was back. And then, yep. So where is that new village? No. I'll never be able to go back home. That's really sad. It's sad that Sasha doesn't want to face that, but that is sad that she says there's no place to go back home. Wow, we really cut straight to that. Hi. Cutting straight to this terrifying scene. That had no preamble, no lead up. It just is immediately her and the Titan eating the mom. That look, the Titan looking over to her. Oh my God. Oh, what the fudge. That's terrifying. That, honestly, the Titan, the zombie Titan that's eating the mom in this scene, I feel like there's not any other Titans quite like that in this series that do that eat that way or kill that way. It's such a very unique scene, And it's so horrific and terrifying. And then Sasha grabbing the axe. Cool. Grabbing the axe. We have the bird getting the worm. Her grabbing the axe from the tree stump to see the Titan. Oh. Damn. Oh, and struck the neck, but it was too shallow. And now people have theorized that this was Connie's dad that was eating the mom there. Its wounds heal instantly if I can't slice through. Oh, shit. And then she loses the axe against the wall. Sees the girl. Oh. Oh, and then the moment the mom dies, that's when he looks up, right? Oh my God. The moment she dies, that's when he just stops paying attention and looks over them. That's so creepy! So very creepy! Yes, yes, yes. Creepy indeed. And then she's like, tries to get her up on the horse. Why are you talking so nice? Yeah, and that's Sasha's whole thing in the anime was her changing her voice to try to not seem so country. And then the girl being like, why are you not being yourself? And then that's when she, lets everything go in this moment. Oh, man. And then it comes out and she has the bow and arrow. I like that we're getting in the manga more explanation of her getting all of the things. I feel like we did in the anime as well, but it's nice seeing it in here. Mm-hmm. The people in the village knew that mom had bad legs. No one would help. That's the thing. The mom, she was able to withstand all of that. Where is that toy? I don't see it. But she was able to withstand all that pain because her legs didn't work. But then once she lost the blood and everything, she just died anyway. Okay. That's stupid. Oh, so we go back to Ymir. I was waiting for that conversation to come back because I know we have the conversation where we have the conversation of Ymir telling Sasha that she talks too polite. She's like, you're not being yourself. She has the conversation about you must be ashamed of the way the people in your village talk, right? I love the way they draw Ymir. Like, she's so sassy. She's like, oh, I hit the nail on the head, didn't I? Oh, all you do is hunt and you're afraid of society. Am I right? You don't have much of a reason to become a soldier, do you? And I like that Krista's like, oh, Ymir. Yes, that's when she says her name. Ymir. Sasha, are you going to spend the rest of your life playing a character because you're worried of what others think of you? Isn't it okay just being you? Talk to me in your own words. I love Ymir's just like grumbling. She's like, what'd you say? And she's like, pardon me. And then Krista, aka Historia, is like, you shouldn't change the way you speak just because someone tells you to. I like there's that double dynamic, right? Where you have Ymir who's telling Sasha, being like, you're trying to be somebody you're not. You're trying to put on airs when that's not necessary. Just be yourself. Talk like you were raised. And be you. Which is nice. But then I like Historia also adds being like, well, maybe she has a reason she's doing it, so don't boss her around. Let her make her own decisions. Don't try to pressure her. And I'm like, I love the dynamic that Historia and Ymir create in this moment. Right? And the way that Isayama draws Ymir is so fun. I love the way that both of them are drawn. Like Historia with the big giant eyes and Ymir with like just the sassy face. Like, it's really great. I like it. Sasha's the only one who's lived Sasha's life. She's speaking in her own words, and I like it. Aww. I guess it's not what you say. Ah, interesting. Okay. Even if you change the way you talk, it wouldn't stop you from annoying me. Yeah, Ymir. So, yeah, I remember we just name dropped her name in this, and it was like, what? Subjects of Ymir, what's happening? I love it. Not everyone's as thick-skinned as you. And then Sasha. It's so weird because it feels like Ymir and Historia were the first friends that Sasha made in this, aside from like Connie. So that's so interesting. Why do I remember that at a time like this? And so like her being herself, right? She's like, that's what she has to do. She has to just be herself. She's a girl from the backwoods. She can handle this. Like, just be herself. Just keep running and you'll find someone to help you. Oh, girl, yes. I loved this moment of Sasha letting her go. That's so good. Get moving. Yes, love it. And then the girl runs. Oh, man. And then her, ooh, Isayama, that's a really good shot of her jumping up onto the side there. Yes. And then her, like, calming down, shooting the target in the eye. So I'm guessing at this point, this is the point Isayama was debating on whether to kill her off or not. Do we let her die and the kid get away, or do we let them both live? And then she takes the arrow and, like, yeah, stabs the Titan in the eye with it. And then it looks like she's, like, she gets away in that moment. Keeps running. She slips out. She's covered in blood. She looks for a horse. And that's when she notices her dad and all them running. Yeah, Mr. Browse. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because the girl that is rescued, whose name escapes me, and I know as soon as I see her later on, I'm going to remember it. But I think, was it Kayla? No. But in any case, her hair's so much shorter there, and the next time we see her, it'll all be grown out when Gabby and Falco see her, so that's fun times. But yeah, okay. And then they all get reunited. We went all around here giving horses to everyone. That kid told us someone was still over here. You fought a Titan to help that kid out. You've become a fine woman. Aww. Love Mr. Browse. Mr. Browse is my favorite. I love him. But I love that this was like, we actually had like a happy ending, like a rare Isayama happy ending. And then at that moment he decided, I'll let her live for another 10 volumes. Before I kill her off. I'll just make her death really brutal and heartbreaking to make up for this one happy moment you got with her. I was like, Isayama, no! But that's literally what ends up happening. Okay, so Southwest by Southwest, I think is what it's called in the anime. But 16 hours after the Titans were spotted, and we have Hanji, Eren and his little burrito in between Mikasa and Armin. Okay, so they're heading towards the Eremic district. What should we do? Why are we taking a wall priestess with us? I like that Armin is skeptical. Armin's like, this seems like a waste of time. And Hanji's like, Pastor Nick and I are buddies. I love that Armin, Eren, and Mikasa all look so unconvinced. They're just like, really? He knew there was Titans inside the walls, but he kept it a secret until now. He seems serious about dying before we spill any more. But their church knows some secret about the walls. It's like, oh, a mystery. Spill. I like Eren, like, stands up and he's like, spill the tea. Eren's just like, are you serious? And Mikasa's like, you're tired from transforming. I like that Eren's just like, that look of Eren in disbelief is like, bitch, what? You know things you're not telling us? He says he's going to judge with his own eyes and ask himself. I like that Eren's like, that's dumb. Aaron's like, that's ridiculous. If there's something you know, just tell us. Like, what could be more important than humanity being wiped out? And it's like, well, he's like, if I tell you now, you can't find the basement later. The minister looks like a righteous man of good judgment. But on the other hand, there is really something more important to him than the extinction of humanity. That's such an interesting line, too, because him considering the truth and it's Pastor Nick and Erwin are opposites of each other, but they're similar in a way because Pastor Nick, he believes that the concealment of the truth is more important than humanity's existence. And Erwin believes that the revealing of that truth is more important than humanity's existence. That's kind of like, by the time we get to Midnight Sun and all that, Erwin will kind of propose the exact opposite of Pastor Nick, where he's like, no, I want to reveal this information, whereas Pastor Nick wanted to keep it secret. There's a distinct difference in those two ideologies, and it's cool to see it this early on. He's got some guts, but I wonder about the other believers. It's hard to imagine the bastards will have got the same willpower. And I love that he's got the gun like not so concealed. Like you can clearly see it, right? Or maybe we're supposed to, as the audience, see it. I don't know. And Levi's like, I may not seem like I'm much use, but He's like, I'll still cut a bitch if I need to. So, and then Hanji has the piece of the female Titan's hardened skin that she left behind. I like that Mikasa and Eren are kind of like, oh, gross. And Armin's like, what? It's still here? Even after Annie turned back to a human and was detached from her Titan body. I like Hanji's head is huge in that bottom panel, and her hand is tiny. It's like, it's so disproportioned. Like Isayama is just making a point to show how obsessed Hanji is with it. It's great. And then Hanji's like, I have an idea. I like that everyone in the image around Hanji is working ridiculously hard, and she's just like, has all these ideas, and they're like, oh God, no, Hanji, no. And then she compared it to the fragment of the wall. They were very similar down to their physical structures. So the walls are made of the hardened skin. And then Mikasa's like, that's exactly like what Armin said. And then he's like, wait, hold on. She's like, let me see. I like that Hanji wants to steal the glory. Hanji's like, she's like, no, you don't get to reveal it. I did all the work. No, let me do it. I love it. I love Hanji like steals the spotlight for that moment. That's really good. She's like, the thing, it's going to be difficult to steal the destroyed section of Wall Rose as long as there isn't a conveniently sized boulder. But what if we just used Eren and like had him like molt to seal the wall? Why not? And I like Eren's like, I mean, is it going to hurt? I love that. He's like, use me to seal the wall. And Levi's just like, what do you think about that, Eren? She said it should be made of the same material. And Armin's like, well, it's a gamble worth taking if you can do it more than once, and there's hope for retaking Wall Maria. Because, yeah, this starts the whole thing of what do we do when we get to the basement? How do we handle it? And it's like, yeah. I like Levi's expression there, though, looking back there at what he looks at Eren. Levi, I've always wondered, he gives such looks whenever it's talked about using Eren. Levi gives looks because Levi knows that is not what Eren wants. Eren is his own person. He likes freedom and he wants to be free. And the idea of using him is the exact opposite of that. So I wonder if Levi's always wondering, being like, Eren clearly doesn't want to do this, but feels it's for the greater good. So he goes along with it. It's just fascinating. Isayama chooses to always go back to Levi to get his reaction whenever Eren says something like that. And so Armin's like, well, why don't we do this all at night? Yeah, when the Titans can't move. We'll do it that way and plug up the wall. He's like, even in the moments of the deepest despair, we can still find hope. Yes, but all of this depends on whether or not Eren can seal the hole. And I love that, if you look at side by side, you have Eren's shots of his eyes. Like, can Eren do this? And then Levi looking over at him. And Hanji's like, do you think you can do it? And Levi at this point says the question's not whether he thinks he can. He's like, do it. You have to do it. He's like, look at us. There's nothing the military can do but flail around desperately. You have to succeed. That's okay. So now we're getting to the point where Levi's like, look, we've all done our job. We're doing what we can to help the situation. You have the means. So it's not there is no try. It's do or do not. Like, you just can't, shit or get off the pot moment. Like, don't just sit there. I feel like Levi also knows that in the past, Eren has hesitated and it's made him feel regret. And Levi's like, no, we're not going to hesitate. You're going to do this. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is the only option we have. We're desperate. You're here. You're going to help. And don't question whether or not it's going to work or not. And he's like, I will seal the hole. I have to. He's like, there's no reason I can't use it too if she could do it. I like that Eren kind of gets a little bit like, well, if Annie can do it, so can I. I'm sick of not knowing what's going on. First, we'll plug Wall Rose, and once we repaired Wall Maria, we'll go to the basement. It's like, be careful what you wish for. Like, Eren's being like, he's sick of not knowing what's going on. And it's like, oh, be careful what you wish for, man. Ignorance is bliss. If everything he said was really there, it may tell me where he went And all the answers are down there. Yes, they're all down there. It's just like, ah! One thing that I do love is that this entire basement has been set up since the early volumes. And it's such a big reveal. And the whole time you're questioning, what are we going to get out of it? And is the reveal of what the basement holds inside going to be worth all the hype and build-up surrounding it? And the answer is yes. But it's just so crazy that we're amping it up so early and so much that's such a rare thing for Isayama to make that reveal worth it. There's so many manga you could name that has a big reveal that doesn't live up to the hype that the manga gave it. This is so worth the reveal. It's like, And I also noticed that Grisha is not on the character page anymore. He has conveniently disappeared because why do we need to think about him? And then I'll know exactly who to point all this anger at. Oh, what a line. What a line. And Mikasa looking at him, who to point all this anger at. Oh, that's such a line. Oh, because it's like, yeah, who do we point the anger at? Does he point it at himself? Does he point it at his dad? Does he point it at the rest of the world? I mean, he kind of ends up pointing it at the rest of the world. But, oh, what a line. Eren wants to know all the truth to know who to be angry at. Which is, again, very telling of Eren's character because it's painting that Eren wants something to destroy by the end of this. Whereas Armin and some of the others, their idea is they want to know the truth to build off of it and to create something, like create a connection, create a foundation, like create new connections with others. But Eren just wants to destroy from it. And Mikasa looking over at him like she knows, like she kind of like sees through in that moment. It's fascinating, right? Fascinating. Okay. And so Levi's just here barking orders. Mikasa, use all your skills to protect Eren. And she's like, yes, sir, of course. And Levi's like, I don't know why you're so attached to Eren, but control yourself. Don't mess up again. And Eren's like, mess up again? What? Attached? What? What's happening? Uh-huh. And then, oh my God, that shot of Pastor Nick is terrifying. Terrifying. What'd you think was going to happen? The wall's been breached. And there's all the... Wait, I remember this from the anime. Like, all the refugees. And I love that Levi is silhouetted in black there, showing that he's different than all of them, which he can't turn into a Titan, right? Because he's an Ackerman. So interesting. I love that. And I love that if you actually look at some of their faces in this montage, you can kind of see like why some of the Titans have features like they do. It's interesting. He's like, what are you thinking? And Levi calling him out on, you're keeping all these secrets and people are suffering because of it. All of humanity will be one flock. Oh, and we're like just previewing flock before we even get to him, right? And Eren's saying, my strength is coming back. Okay. Moblet! Oh, Moblet. Sweet, sweet Moblet. And then Hanji's like, there's no time left. I cannot speak. The other followers feel the same. They will not change their minds. And then this is where he reveals Historia, right? As the ages pass, we create ourselves a firm covenant. The secrets of the wall to a single bloodline. Yep, All right. And he's like, the child was caught up in a conflict in the bloodline 3 years ago and has been hiding under a false name. She knows the secret of the wall and possesses the right to choose to speak it in public. I love it. And they're like, wait, who is this? Who would it be? Oh, wow. And they said her. Oh, bring her here. The girl, she's 104th, which means she's on the front lines. Okay. And Eren's like, let's go. Let's go. We don't know the names. He's like, she's the smallest girl in our year. She has long blonde hair and she's kind of cute. It's the girl who's always with Ymir. I like that Armin's like, she's kind of, I like that Aaron says she's the smallest girl. Armin's like, well, she's kind of cute and she's got blonde hair. And Mika says like, she's with Ymir. I like that Mika says, trying to tell both boys she is off limits. She is not to be messed with. And Hanji's like, wait, what? Ymir. Oh, and Hanji's like, wait, Ymir? That's from Ilse's notebook. Oh, great connection. Great connection. Yes. Meanwhile, we go back to Nanaba. Ooh, Nanaba's with Ymir and them. Nice. And so Ymir's talking about how Krista and her could pull back. And then Nanaba's like, no, you're going to go with us. And Krista's like, well, why are you here right now? If you don't have a reason, then just start running. And this is why, we're going to start talking about Ymir and Historia and their backgrounds. And Ymir says, I'm here for my own sake. She's like, does it have something to do with my family? Yeah, it does. I like that Ymir's like, I am here because of your family and who you are, but it's my choice. I chose to be here with you right now. Aww. I just like Ymir and Historia shipping. Oh, and Ymir, like her face whenever Historia says good. I get to ship them all over again. I'm so ready. So ready for it. 9 hours after the Titans were spotted. Okay, and then Connie, and look at Reiner's hair. Look at his little hair running back. That's so cute. Okay. And then Connie, I've come back. Sunny and Martin. I'm gonna see. Oh my God! It's right there! Ah! Right there! Shit. My house. Oh. With those limbs, it can't move. Man, they really make its arms and legs so tiny, like it literally just can't. Oh. That's so creepy. Oh, these little ones of Levi. These little chibis. Cute. Udgaard Castle. Connie says there's no survivors. Bertolt and Reiner. And of course, Reiner's still in soldier mode, so he's not thinking of anything else. And Bertolt's just sitting there like... I feel like Bertolt is just internally screaming this entire volume. He's just like, ah! No one's here. My home is gone. And then Reiner, of course, with the hand on his shoulder, because Reiner, even in soldier mode, feels that empathy of Connie wanting his home and feeling sad about it because Reiner feels the same way. And again, Bertolt internally screaming with the sweat drop being like, what do we do with this? Right? Something's off. Where are the bodies? And Reiner's like, I haven't seen them. And Bertolt's like, I haven't seen any either. Bertolt's just like, get me out of here, please. As soon as possible. And they're like, well, then the people probably fled. They're not here, which they did flee. Just not as humans anymore. They must have left hours ago. But the horses are all tied up. Okay. And I like the guy over here is questioning. He's like, I can't show Connie the stable because then he'll be able to see that there's not a way they could get out. Oh. But Connie and that face. Welcome home. Oh my God, I forgot that it spoke to him. She spoke to him. Oh, that's so creepy, Isayama. That drawing is so creepy. Yes, and then Reiner distracts him by getting him caught up. He's like, it can't be, but it talked. Ah! And then Reiner being like, don't you understand our situation? So, man, the thing about it is, I don't think Reiner... I don't know! Because I feel like Reiner's in this weird place at this point in the story. Like, Bertolt is Bertolt. Bertolt does not have a split personality. Bertolt is, like, just constantly in his head going, help. Like, that's all. Bertolt is out losing his mind every step of the way in this volume. But Reiner goes into this weird place at this point with these pages where, on the one hand, you're like, he's in soldier mode. But then you're like, is he really connecting with Connie? Because on the next page there, when he looks over to Connie, who's like getting determined, it almost seems like Reiner is suspicious there for like making him not think about the Titans anymore. But at this point, who knows? Reiner keeps going back and forth. And then we go to the eastern line of defense. Yeah, as they build the traps. And then there's that guy who wanted to just shoot Aaron. Could you imagine if he'd actually gone through with that? If he'd blown Aaron to smithereens back in like volume 4? What would the story have been like? Who knows? But there's Rico. And Rico being like, what makes the Titans terrifying are their numbers. If they come in a group, they were doomed. Okay. But then Hannes is like, we don't see any breaches in the wall. None whatsoever. Go back here. All right. We should be nearing the breach, but it's still quiet. Oh, and now we get into the darkness. These chapters, this part was always freaky because it's like you can't see anything. So it's just like you're waiting for a jump scare. Oh my God, that imagery. That imagery. Look at that. Oh my God, that's so creepy. Isayama. Just making us... Isayama's so good at horror. Like just the freakiness of this. And then we see everybody else. We see Ymir and all of them. They've not seen a single hole either. And that death shot of all of them just gathered in the little cluster, that's so creepy. So creepy. Yes, indeed. And Nanaba and Thomas are like, what the fudge do we do? And then they see Udgaard Castle. Oh man, we're going to end this right before things get crazy, aren't we? We're going to end this right before things get crazy. Okay. And this castle's like half destroyed. Oh man. Okay. Oh, it's alcohol Gelger. Gelger! Yeah, there we go. And then Nanaba's like, aren't we stealing? Nanaba's quite negative throughout this volume. And then Historia's like, what if it turns out the wall hasn't been breached? Where'd the Titans come from? There. I like that Reiner keeps looking over to Connie, like making sure he's stable. And Bertolt is sitting behind looking at Connie. And what's kind of curious is that Bertolt kind of looks a little bit like a colossal Titan right behind him. Like the way he's just perched there. It's interesting. And so everybody's questioning. Connie asked what happened to the village. No one had been eaten. And then Ymir, who is like, you said your village was destroyed? He's like, the houses were damaged, but there was no victims. If they'd been eaten, there would have been blood and other remains left behind. So if there weren't so, it means no one was killed. And oh, that face Ymir makes. The face Ymir makes says everything. She knows. She's figured it out like that. She's just like, oh my God, they were turned into Titans. Like she instantly knows what's happening in the span of like 10 seconds. Like Ymir is smart. Ymir is very, very street smart. And she's put together the pieces instantly. And Reiner's trying to like get him away from piecing things together. But Ymir's like, oh, I've already figured it out. Yeah. He's like, that thing kind of resembled my mom. And Reiner's trying to get him off the Titan discussion. And Ymir, she's like, so your mom was a Titan. Well, then why are you so tiny? What sense does that make? Your dad must be a Titan too, because if Not than you know. How could they do it? So yeah, Ymir diffuses the situation with the joke, but she's figured it out already. Yeah. She like tries to throw them off from, because she knows that he knows. She knows that he's figured it out, and it's like, oh. So, okay. And she tries to diffuse the situation so he doesn't talk anymore about it. Oh my god. And then, oh yes, this scene with Reiner and her and the thing. Creeping into a girl's room at night, Reiner? That's surprising. You didn't seem like the kind of guy who was interested in women. Sure, and you don't look like the kind of girl who's interested in guys. Ah! I love it. That line's still my favorite. Like, like she's like, so how are you in Bertolt? And he's like, how are you in Historia? And it's just like, oh my god. Yes. Yes, please. That exchange between the two of them. Amazing. She's like, this will end up being our last supper. When Connie was talking about this village, you changed the subject on purpose, didn't you? Yeah. You don't have to be worried about your family. I love that Isayama like draws her like at this angle. Herring isn't my favorite, but oh, yep, and she can read the can. He's like, let me take a look. And she's like, here. Canned food. What are these letters? I can't read them. You can read these things. Oh, that's so good. That's so good figuring it out. Oh my god. Oh my god. Because, yeah. And then they both look at each other like, how can you read this, Ymir? How do you know these things, Ymir? Oh, the mystery. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And then everybody get to the roof. Oh my god. Like, because at this point, Ymir was not crazy suspicious. Like, there was the wondering of why she wanted to be with Historia and what she knew about Historia's background that Historia believed was the reason she was there. But that was really the most suspicious thing about Ymir, was that she has some connection to Historia. We don't know exactly what. But the moment that her and Reiner have that conversation, it blows the whole thing wide open. Like, oh shit, she is connected to Reiner. There's something we don't know about each of them. What? And and then there they are, and it's the same Titans. Oh, that killed Mike. They're there too. Yep, they're there as well. Why? And then, why are they still moving? Hours have passed since sunset. And then Connie, look at that. It's huge. What the hell is that thing? Oh, and Reiner and Bertolt are right behind him. Oh my god. Oh my god! It doesn't look like some sort of animal. Oh my god. And Reiner and Bertolt and Ymir are all like, the fudge. The three warriors are there too. Oh my god. The crazy thing is, that panel doesn't look nearly as suspicious as the anime makes it look suspicious as hell that they're all looking at him like that. And then they're trying to get in there. Oh my god, to attack them. Oh, dropping the F-bomb, Gelger. I can't get a drink because of you. That shot of Nanaba, look at that. That's a beautiful shot of her. That's one of my favorite shots from that episode, was Nanaba with the moonlight in front of her. But that shot, oh, that's so good. And then let's go. Oh my god, the Beast Titan climbing up the wall. Oh. That is such a crazy shot. Oh. And he's just leaving. The Beast Titan is conveniently leaving because he doesn't want to be spotted by the others. He's conveniently getting out of there. Okay. We're headed to Udgaard Castle. And there's Aaron and the others. Yeah. Oh, man! Oh, okay. What? A blood-splattering dance masterpiece. Next volume, the Frenzied Idol arc begins. And so the fate of humanity is entrusted to its most powerful stage entertainer. Mesmerize every last Titan. Mikarin. 5'7", 68 inches, 150 pounds. Interest Aaron. Slicing meat. A single-minded sense of resolve. Doing surprisingly rash things like trying to immediately cut down people I don't like. The Survey Corps Idol Unit. Ah! I mean, hey, I'm 5'8", and I'm about 150 pounds too, so Mikasa and I are like nearly the same. That's awesome. Oh my god, her back muscles though, with the corset top. I am not nearly as muscular as Mikasa though. That is a hardcore fact. Oh my god, Mikasa with the 8-pack. And the 8-pack and the microphone with that pose. Isayama, come on. I love that. That's one of my favorites. I like it a lot. Oh, man. Oh. So, man, lots of setup there in that volume. Lots of setup with volume 9 and getting everything involving just all the stuff with Connie and Sasha, doing that. What I really like about it is that this volume has a lot of setup, but it's the first volume that we start to get like suspicions created from the characters from within. Like up until now, like we've been so focused on Annie that we've kind of forgotten about Bertolt and Reiner and Ymir. And so getting them all involved and seeing how suspicious they were. The funny thing is, I was trying to think about it as I was reading, but if you didn't know about the reveal of Reiner and Bertolt and Ymir, then going back, it would be so fun to go back through these volumes after you found out, like what I'm doing, and seeing all the panels where they're like right there in the foreground. They're right there. Isayama's like, your answer's right here. I'm literally pointing to who the Titans are. Here you go. Can you figure it out? And I'm curious, for those of you that read this the first time, in the comments down below, did you ever suspect Reiner and Bertolt and Ymir of being Titans? Up until this volume. Like, obviously, next volume, we're going to have all the reveals. All the reveals. But I'm curious, for those of you down below, if you read up to this point and had suspicions about Reiner, Bertolt, and Ymir or not. I had suspicions at this point, but I did not until Ymir does the whole thing with asking for the knife. The moment she asked for the knife, I was like, she's a Titan. But up until that point, I didn't suspect it. And I thought Reiner and Bertolt were acting weird and wondered if it could be the case. But, oh man, but just seeing how it all plays out, crazy. And then getting Mr. Browse telling Sasha the children in the forest metaphor like this early on. Getting like all the little hints about the Beast Titan this early on. It's just absolutely fantastic. And so I'm so curious to hear your thoughts down below. So curious, y'all. But I'm so ready for Volume 10 now. Volume 10 is going to be amazing because that's going to be Warrior, I'm sure. And maybe not. It may not be Warrior. It may be Volume 10 may just be about Historia and Ymir and them. So I'm not going to count my chickens too soon, but I'm so excited to hear your thoughts down below. This volume was a lot of fun. Setting the stage for suspense, for horror, and that things are not getting any easier. So, in any case, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with Volume 10 of Attack on Titan. Bye.